We live in an age of science and technology progress. Science and technology are a field of history that examines the understanding of the natural world and the ability to manipulate it at different points in time. This academic discipline also studies the cultural, economic, and political impacts of the context of scientific practices. During the first half of 20th century, three prophetic writers warned about the dark side of scientific technological progress: G.K. Chesterton, George Orwell, and C.S. Lewis. C.S. Lewis is best known for his Narnia Stories and his books on Christian theology. C.S. Lewis also had an intense interest in the growing power of scientism, the effort to use the method of science to explain and control every part of human life. He never attacked science itself. What he attacked was scientism. In terms of historical scientific ideas and abuses of scientific method, abuses of scientific terminology, and abuses of scientific faith. When warning about the abuse of science, Lewis made an unusual comparison, although most people think of science as something. Lewis compared it to something ancient magic. C.S. Lewis thought that science and magic were twins. He highlighted three different ways that science and magic really are quite similar. The first way that science and magic are similar, according to Lewis, is their ability to function as a religion. And so today, a lot of people speaking in the name of science, who offer science as a quasi-religion, is what gives their lives meaning. Another area that we see this today isn't in a whole celebration of Darwin's birthday. Hundreds of colleges, community organizations, if not thousands around the world, on February 12 every year holds Darwin's Day celebrations. Sometimes they have birthday cakes, they have special concerts, even they with hymns towards Darwin, and it really takes on the trapping of religion. A second way, science of magic and similar according to Lewis, is their encouragement of a lack of skepticism. The magic you can take off, and the tribes have a witch doctor, and they believe whatever the witch doctor says, and so being magical thinking can promote a type of credulous thinking, and we just trust what the authority figure says. And Lewis point it out that in the modern world, people will believe anything if it's dressed up in the name of science. Lewis also had an interest in Freudianism. Since his days as an Oxford undergraduate, Lewis was intrigued by some of the claims of psychoanalysis, but he ultimately rejected the effort by Freud's followers to explain everything from religion to stealing cars as a result of our subconscious urges. Shortly after Lewis accepted Christianity, he satirized Freud in his allegory, The Pilgrim's Progress. Lewis believes that evolutionism, like Freudianism, contains a fatal self-contradiction regarding the human mind according to the Darwinian view. The reason was simply the unforeseen and unintended byproduct of a mindless process based on the survival of the fittest. Lewis pointed out the key difficulty with the Darwinian account to reason. If my own mind is a product of irrational, he asked, how shall I trust my mind when it tells me about evolution? Lewis was very concerned by the dogmatic use of science, and that is why he wrote his novel Hideous Strength. That is why he wrote his book The Abolition of Man, where he actually worries and somewhat sort of predicts the rise of a new class of people of experts, speaking in the name of science, would dictate to everyone else. In fact, by the end of his life, Lewis was worrying about the rise of what he called Scientocracy government and society that claims to be based on the claim of modern science, but in reality is really based on the scientific clique of a few people who are speaking in the name of science, and maybe they are adopting the majority of people of science, but they're claiming the right to rule based on their scientific knowledge and expertise. C.S. Lewis hoped that scientists themselves would find a way to rescue science from scientism, creating a generate science that respected human rights and honored human dignity, a science that would no longer be a magician with.